Good morning, everyone. Today is day 2 of the Advent calendar. So we are going to Indonesia. Gayo wi ilan. I don't know if I pronounce it well. Sorry about that. Arabica Gayo 1, Arabica Gayo 2, Katimor, and Tipica as a varietal. So it's a mix of varietals. And the processing is wet hull. Okay, wet hull is processing actually typical from Indonesia, from the island of Sumatra, and it's a processing that is similar to washed, but they keep the parchment a bit longer, and they remove it only after 2-3 days when they are drying the coffee, when it's kind of like around 50% of humidity. And then this parchment is being removed and then finished to dry until it reached the 10 or 12% of humidity. So when the coffee is ready to be, let's say, packed and shipped. And this processing should give to the coffee a bit less acidity, more body, and more sweetness. That's what I understand, and what actually usually you get from a wet hull processing. All right, let's do the usual 15. Okay, now today I will use the V60. Okay, some of the classical method, conical, probably the most known method. Let's put this at 0. 2, 3, 6. Let's do 25 today. Okay, it's 25 clicks. The fragrance of the coffee is interesting. It's earthy, like herbal, but also a citrus. I want to see what we'll get in the cup today. All right, so. All right, we have our coffee. Let's place the paper. Okay. I'm going to use a classic V60 paper. Okay. I'm using cold water to wet the paper because I'm using a plastic V60, so I don't need like to have hot water to warm up the brewer. And I like to wet the paper, in this case when I use plastic drippers, with the cold water, because I can have like consistency every time of temperature, because one of the factors for me sometimes can change the brewing is the period from when you wet the brewer and when you actually brewing. Because if you are warming up with a hot water and then after you drain you brew straight away, the dripper is going to have a temperature. But if you wait, I don't know, 5 minutes, because I don't know, you wet the paper, then you grind the coffee, you're gonna spend, I don't know, 3-4 minutes before brewing, so the temperature of the dripper will change in case, you know, we have a ceramic dripper. So it's not consistent. So to have even more consistency is good for me to wet the paper with room temperature water when I brew coffee with plastic drippers. Okay, like the V60 plastic or the Orea V4. Okay, water temperature 90 today. I want to see if it's enough for this coffee. I think to do my 5 pours method. So I will split the 250 grams of water in 5 pours of 50 grams. Okay, and we will see what we get. Grams. Okay, give a little swirl. This little swirl technique, I usually use it when I brew with the conical drippers. And that is because I want to make sure that all the coffee is wet at the same time, even at the end of the cone, because I cannot see that. Okay, 40 seconds. And we pour another 50 grams. Okay. I hope everyone is okay today, is good. You had a good weekend. Today is Monday, so majority of the people going back to work. Okay. Now let's do the second pour. The third pour. Okay. I'm actually excited to try this Indonesian coffee. I actually had it recently, Indonesian coffee, because I have a few friends from Indonesia and I had the possibility, to try some coffee beans from them. It's a kind of interesting. I think it's a growing country for coffee producing, but also like as a coffee professional in general, as a coffee community, coffee scene. Also, they have the World Barista Champion, Mikel Yazin. Also, then the next year World of Coffee is going to be in Jakarta, so in Indonesia. So it's a really good country. I have many friends from there, and I can't wait to visit next year. Okay, the coffee is draining quite good, regular. Very happy with that. I did 25 clicks with the Comandante. All right, let's do the last one. Okay, 5 pours. Basically, it's a method where you can extract a lot from the coffee by splitting this water and let the water drain every time. If you use it with natural processed coffee, you might risk to over extract a bit the coffee because you refresh a lot the coffee with the fresh water, and splitting the water let's say increase extraction, something that you need when you're brewing with wash coffee, because they tend to be like more dense and higher to extract compared to natural or fermented coffee. So usually these 5 pours with the V60 works every time, but we will see. All right. Okay. The aroma is very herbal. Aroma is herbal, but it's also sweet. And also now that I continue swirling, it gets more like of the brighter notes like citrus. Oh wow, that's very curious as a coffee, because it tastes like it's a lot of citrus, so very like lemony as a coffee. But I would say like more candied lemon, not very sharp lemon, like usually you get from Ethiopian coffee, like the tea-like. Like the tea-like sensation There's a lot of, okay. I might have over-extracted this coffee. Maybe it's too much. Maybe I extracted too much. I get some bitterness. Of course, dark chocolate is bitter. It's a bitter kind of chocolate, so it makes sense. But I don't know, maybe I should go a bit coarser or adjust the pouring. Okay, let me think. If I want to change something, I'll do it quickly. I mean, the coffee is good, okay? But can I make it better? Okay, you know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna reset everything. I'm going to brew a second one. Okay, I restart everything. So I rewet the paper with the cold water. Water is already at 90 degrees. One thing that I did while I was resetting everything is to use a refractometer to understand the TDS. Why use this? Because if I want to change something, the refractometer can give me an idea of what to change. Because I said, okay, the coffee for me was a bit over extracted. If I look at the refractometer for the coffee that I just brewed, I can see that I have a 1.52% of TDS. That is very high. So this bitterness can arrive for the over extraction. And because TDS is very high, what I do is to say, okay, maybe the coffee was too fine. So I'm going to grind the coffee a bit coarser. So having a coarser coffee, now it will drain faster. It will reduce the contact time between coffee and water. So also it will reduce the extraction of compounds. It will reduce the TDS. It will reduce also the extraction. So I should get a more balanced cup. Now, how many clicks should I go finer? I mean, it's 1.52, 53. I will say I'm going 2 clicks finer. Sorry. I mean coarser. Sorry. 2 clicks coarser. Okay, so I started with a 25, now I'm going 27. Perfect. Okay. And again, another 50 grams. Because there are different things you can do, you know, when you want to change some variables. In case I had an over-extracted coffee, but the TDS was kind of low, even like, I don't say low, but 1.3, 1.2.5. In that case, what I would have done is to reduce the amount of water. I would have done 15 to 30, okay? In this way, you reduce the water for extraction. Okay, so you will have a less extracted coffee, but also you will get a more intense coffee. So basically you balance this intensity extraction by reducing the amount of water, okay? Keeping all the time the same grind size. Because if you go finer, yes, you can get more this total dissolved solids, so higher TDS, but then you will increase also the extraction and that will taste even more bitter, okay? So if it was a low TDS, and higher extraction, I wouldn't just reduce the water, the brewing water. But in this case, because my TDS is actually very high, let's say high, okay, for the standard coffee, in this case, I go coarser. And we will see if we fix the problem. I will do the same. So remember, every time, change one variable at a time. That is very important when you brew coffee. Okay, one thing that I always do is to keep the previous coffee in a cup so I can drink it when it goes down, because you will see more the nature of the coffee that you brew when also the coffee is cold. So don't junk it. Even if it doesn't taste good, just keep it and you taste it after, side by side with the new one. Even if you cannot compare the same temperature at the same time, but at least you might see how the coffee that you didn't, let's say that you didn't like before, with the first brew, you can see how it transforms when it cools down. It's good, this advent calendar also, you know, to see different origin, different processing, try to understand how to change variables. For me, it's very important also to share this information with you, because there is no like a fixed recipe for any coffee. Every coffee is different, the water is different. Talking about the water, I will talk more in the next days about the water that I'm using. It's a water that I made to keep consistency every day. We will talk more about water in the future on my channel. It's very important. But now let's keep this basic stuff. Okay, so you can see the coffee is drink faster, of course. Almost done. So the previous coffee that I made for the first coffee, the total brew time was 4 minutes. I remember I stopped it, it was 4 minutes. And now we are having basically let's call it 340. Okay. Oh, the aroma is way better. Oh my God, it's more open, it's more bright. Damn. Okay. Okay, if you're brewing this coffee, go coarser, guys. Wow. The aroma now is way, way better. It's brighter, it's sweeter. It's like really like caramel lemon, candy. I don't know, like it's super sweet. It's sweeter and it's brighter. It's wow. I mean, like it's surprising. There is also I can okay. I tell you, I can smell also like some yellow tropical fruit, like mango. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. That is a note that wasn't written in the box, but yeah, absolutely. Peachy as well, some peach mango, so yellow fruits, but sweet, very sweet. Hopefully the taste is going to be the same. It's going to be great, actually. Oh my God, yeah. Oh, this coffee is really good. I think this is the best Indonesian coffee that I ever tried. Yeah, honestly, it's really good. I don't even want to taste the old one. I don't need to. So it's great. It's amazing. Okay, let's do something. Let's also test TDS on this. Let's check the TDS for this coffee as well. So the previous one was like 150 and something more. This one, okay, it's 145. So we see like we reduce the TDS of the coffee. With the TDS, we open up a bit more the flavor, and it's amazing. So yeah, we didn't lose the sweetness, because sometimes maybe you extract less, you go coarser, and you lose the sweetness. There is more acidity in the coffee, but the acidity is more round, is more defined, and that makes this coffee even more enjoyable. It's I can taste a lot of, like, as I said, like ripe fruits, like peach and mango. It's really good together with the caramel. That's great. Okay, I'm going to note down this recipe, and I wish you all having a good day. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Ciao.